Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. It must be 10 a.m. on a Wednesday because the fire sounds or the storm sirens are going crazy outside. Hope you're having a great morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Denise Stegall. I am the CEO and curator of the Living Healthy List at livinghealthylist.com, where our goal is basically to give you honest and reliable information on health, wellness, personal development, and fun that you can actually use. So good morning. Hey Suzanne. Miss Suzanne is on vacation, having a grand old time. So thank you for joining me this morning. So today I want to talk about something that we've kind of been talking about all month at Living Healthy List. Each month we tend to have a bit of a theme. And so this theme is, we've been talking about romance and how romance can make happiness happen. Now, essentially what we're talking about is that romance that you have with yourself, your, call it self-love, your self-assuredness. Think about it, when you're younger, probably into your early teens, but especially when you're young, we feel invincible. I mean, think about how many times, you climbed a tree, you jumped off a bridge, maybe not jumped off a bridge, but jumped off a swing set, things that, now, you kind of, oh, I wouldn't do that. We had this idea that we were invincible, that, we could do anything. And I think as we get older, and definitely as we become teenagers and into young adult life, we tend to lose that. Somewhere along the line, we kind of stop, I guess we get scared. We stop growing, we stop learning. Yeah, we're learning things in school and certain things, but we really stop learning about things that make us us. And we start listening to the creeping sounds of limiting beliefs, and we stop believing in ourselves. We start looking outside of ourselves for acceptance, for love, for fulfillment, which of course we know without a doubt will eventually lead to unhappiness and disappointment. Anytime you're disappointed in life, I mean, no one's happy when they're disappointed. But if that's something that starts to become a recurring theme in life, and some people will say, oh, it's, my life circumstances, which I will just tell you, first and foremost, is a bunch of baloney. Because truly, whatever your circumstances are, it's really the way you perceive them. That's really the limitation that you have. Yeah, we all find ourselves in situations and circumstances that may not be, the best. But if you're positive about it and the way you think about it, and that self-assuredness will help you get to that, get out of those circumstances or change those circumstances. So essentially what I think happens, we start to say these things to ourselves out loud. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have what it takes. Whatever those thoughts are, we really kind of get stuck in that sadness piece, discontent, and none of us really want to sit there. For way too many years, we sit in that area of discontent. So life is short. Let's not spend any more time living with this in discontent, sadness, disappointment. Give it a name. But it really is, when you get to that point where you're sitting in that discontent, you've had enough of it. It's time to change. And so change can be difficult, which I know. And so there are three phases that I think pop into our lives and into our vocabulary very easily when we start to it's when we no longer have that romance with ourselves, when it comes to that self-love and that self-assuredness. And these are three things that I want you to totally just get rid of in your vocabulary. Okay, just never say them ever again. It's going to take practice. So the first one is somebody ought to, or somebody oughta. I just said that. I kind of sounded like John Wayne. But John Wayne said, I oughta, instead of somebody oughta. See the difference? So what are people saying when, somebody oughta? Somebody ought to do something. Somebody ought to fix that. Somebody ought to do something about an injustice, whatever it might be. Somebody should stand up for. Somebody ought to do something. Well, here's the question. If it's so darn important that somebody ought to do it, why isn't that somebody you? So, seriously, if it's that important, if you think that there's an injustice, that somebody should do something, why not you? Why not take a stand? Why not do something that is important to you, to somebody else, instead of waiting for somebody else to make that difference, to make that change? Because let me tell you something, that person is never going to arrive. If you're stuck in, well, somebody ought to do this, somebody ought to make me happy, somebody ought to do something for me, somebody ought to fix the craziness that we have in our world, whatever it might be. If it's so important, take a stand. Do something about it. Let's hear your voice. And truly, when you take a stand, you will find, now in time, because all of this takes time, number one, you will feel so empowered because you're actually doing something. You will feel more self-reliant, more self-assured, more confidence. Ooh, that all sounds good. All of those things that I just said, ooh, that make us feel good, that makes us feel strong. That helps us to create that romance, that love affair, that self-love that we all must have in our lives in order to truly find happiness. Because it can't just be all about somebody's going to make me happy. Somebody ought to make me happy. If you're not happy with you, there is not one person in the world that's going to make you happy. I'm trying to think of a person who could come in and make you happy. Truly, there's not one person who can make you happy if it's not you. If you're not happy with you and who you are, no one's ever going to make you happy. But truly, it's just that confidence piece that I think is really important. And I think what happens when people kind of get stuck in, well, somebody ought to do something, it really minimizes whatever the thing that should be done, but it also minimizes who you are and kind of makes you small. If you are, when we're small, I kind of feel like, we kind of like cave into ourselves, but we don't want to be that way. We want to have that power stance. Ooh, I did my power stance. See, my power stance. We all need to feel that confidence on a daily basis. And truly, if somebody ought to do something, get up off your butt and go do it. So that's number one. Somebody oughta. This was another one. Well, I just assumed. Okay, we all know the phrase, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. That's a lie. You make an ass out of you. That's it. Not the other person, because the other person wasn't actually part of the whole situation. It was all about you, what you thought, what your expectations were, what your needs were. Problem, you didn't tell the other person or group of people, whether it's your spouse or your son or daughter or your employees, whoever that you are assuming that they know something. So the problem with all of that is, well, number one, they can't read your mind. So if you want something, you assume something, and you don't tell the person, they don't know they don't know if you're, what you're angry about, because that's what usually happens. Well, I just assume he would know that. Or I just assume that they, knew how to do that. Well, if you didn't have the conversation, if you didn't open a dialogue, how would they know? So the problem with just assuming that somebody is going to do something for you, or for you, is basically you're unhappy. Not the other person. Well, yeah, if you kind of get into an argument, then somebody is unhappy too. But the problem really lies in one person. It lies within you. So if you're really looking to get rid of this disappointment that happens when you assume, because let's be real, that's what it's all about. You assume somebody's going to do something for you. They don't. You're upset. You're angry. You're disappointed. And the other person's kind of going, hold on. Well, I didn't know. If you had told me. So truly assuming, stop assuming. Just the whole phrase, the whole idea of assuming, forget it. Leave it out of your vocabulary. You just don't do it anymore. So say here's an example. my lawn needs to be mowed. Looks pretty bad from where I am. It needs to be mowed. Mark is really good at mowing the lawn. He's a lot better at it than I am. So, he can see it too. So if I just assume he's going to do it, and tomorrow it doesn't get done, and the next day it doesn't get done, I get annoyed, right? Kind of dumb. If I have a conversation, open a dialogue with him and say, hey, do you think you'll have a chance this week to mow the lawn? Dialogue time. And he says to me, I did notice that it needs to be done, but I'm on a really tight deadline this week. I can get to it on Monday. Okay. So now I'm no longer going to be annoyed. Yes, the grass still needs to be cut, but I know it'll get done. I know he's not forgetting. It's not, because I like the way it looks when it's cut. He's not ignoring that. It's just that there's something else. There's a problem, not a problem. He's got something else that is more important than, let's be real, cutting the grass. So just by opening that dialogue, stop assuming, don't assume anything, ever, no matter who it is, what it is, just stop assuming. Because truly, when you stop doing that and open a dialogue with people, you will be amazed at the things that you will learn. One, learn about yourself. Two, learn about the other people. There you go. When you do this, all of a sudden there's, again, more confidence. You know what to expect. You're happy. You're not disappointed. You're not frustrated. And all of those negative things just go away. When the negative goes away, the positive comes in. Negative, unhappy. Positive, happiness. We like that. We like that feeling. And that's where we want to live. And so the third thing, I have to look at my notes. The third thing, oh gosh, this is a big one. And as a coach, this drives me bananas. The phrase, well, I can't. I don't have time. I can't. And you're right. If you say you can't, you can't. And you won't. And mostly it's because you have just decided that it's not a priority. Whatever it is, I can't spend more time on my business. I can't write that article. I can't go to the gym. I can't exercise for 30 minutes a day. No, you can. You just have decided that you don't want to. It's not a priority. So can't is a lie to yourself. You're lying to other people too, but more importantly, you are lying to yourself. If I say to myself, oh, I can't get my workout in today. I got plenty of time. It's 10:15. Guess what? I really can do it. If I say I can't do it, I've just decided that it's not a priority, and then I won't do it. However, my workout today will be at 3:30. That's when I do my workout today. It's Wednesday. I usually do an afternoon. So I've made it a priority. Not have I only made it a priority, it's on my calendar. So I can't means you really don't want to. Now, obviously, I don't mean stuff like, I can't lift a 500-pound rock over my head. Physically, obviously, I'm unable to do that. Are there people that can do that? Probably. Those big muscle guys who, kind of lift stuff over their head all the time. But they've been practicing for a long time. I'm excited. I can lift the 30-pound kettlebell, throughout a workout, and I'm pretty excited about that. Let me tell you, I started with the 10-pound kettlebell, and now I'm up to the 30-pound kettlebell. Pretty exciting. If I had ever said to myself that I can't lift that 30-pound kettlebell, I'd probably still be sitting at that 10-pound with the 10-pound one and not progressing with my workouts, with my weights. Look, I got really good muscle there, guys. I'm excited about that because I can lift the 30-pound weight because I wanted to. I never said that I couldn't do it. What else? Oh, I love this one. People will say to me, well, Denise, I just can't eat better. Why not? If you wanted to, you could. Go to the supermarket. Buy some fruits and veggies. Buy some whole grains and legumes and things like that. You can. Buy some lean chicken, lean beef. You can do that. Why can't you do that? Pretty simple, right? The problem, again, is you don't make it a priority. It's not something that's important to you. So get this one. So here's a great example of somebody who can't do something. One of my clients said to me recently, well, you know, I just can't fit exercise into my life. And I said, how about just 30 minutes? I can't, my life is too busy. I just can't do it. And I can't get up early. I already get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, and then I have to go to work. And then I work all day, 5 days a week. Yeah, like the rest of the world. But here's the thing. The very next week after she said that to me, this was a few weeks ago, she wrote on Facebook that she was up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go on a girls' weekend trip with her friends. Now, she couldn't get up before 7 o'clock in the morning to get a 30-minute workout in, which would benefit her mind, body, and spirit. It would give her more energy. It would actually increase her those happy endorphins, and she would actually enjoy the day more. But she can't do that. But she could get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go sit in a car and drive to, I think they were going to a lake house, the lake house with a bunch of friends. Priorities. So again, if you can't do something, it's basically just you have not made it a priority and just said that it's not that important to you. So when you say you can't do something, more truthful is that you're lying to yourself. Stop doing that. What are you lying to yourself for? Reframe it, rephrase it. Be honest. If you don't want to work out, say it. I don't want to work out. Okay. Well, then you need to find something else to do, because the health coach in me is going to tell you you can't just sit on your butt 24/7 and, you know, be healthy body, mind, and spirit. It doesn't work that way. You do need to get up and move. So that's just one of those examples. So just kind of in summary, just real quick, 3 things to get rid of out of your vocabulary. Somebody oughta. Get rid of that one. I just assumed. Get rid of the whole concept of assuming. Number 3, but I can't. Yeah, you can. You won't. That's different. Or here's the thing. When you start to think about this in a more positive way, again, positive, negative. If you have the negative in your life, everything's negative in your life. Get rid of that. You want the positive. So bring the positive. Okay, fine. You struggle with getting up earlier in the morning to work out. Okay, I get that. You struggle to do so. If you set your alarm earlier, I bet you, guess what? You'll do it. So that's you know, rephrasing it. I'm unable to do this for XYZ reason. Or I don't have the ability to. Now, yes, you do have the ability to get up at before 7 o'clock in the morning to get a 30-minute workout in. But like, you know, again, with that 500, the example of the 500-pound rock. You know, I'm unable to lift a 500-pound rock over my head. That sounds a lot better. That's a lot more positive than, well, I just can't. Just that can't is so defeating. We don't want defeat. We'll get rid of defeat, okay? So stop making excuses. Get things done. And you will truly find that once you start filling your life with those positivities, with the positive words and phrases, you will absolutely find empowerment. You'll find yourself more successful. You'll feel yourself more energized. And you'll notice that these feelings, get this one, will open their way to make happiness happen. So that's what I have for you today. Suze, thank you for being here with me today. For those of you who will watch the replay, thank you, thank you. I do have a quickie thing that I'd love for you to do for me. Please, once you watch this, definitely let me know what you think about this. Give me your thoughts, but also go to livinghealthylist.com, sign up for our monthly newsletter, because in that we share with you fun stuff, what's going on at Living Healthy List. There's always lots of fun events going on, and we just want to keep in touch with you. So www.livinghealthylist.com, and I will see you this time next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.